Good morning, Chairman, members of the Commission. For the record, my name is Jana Greyson, Nevada Voters for Animals. I was going to end my comments with this quote, but I think I'm going to go ahead and begin my comments with this quote. To the sportsman, the death of the game is not what interests him. That is not his purpose. What interests him is that everything that he had to do to achieve that death, that is, the hunt. Therefore, what was before only a means to an end is now an end itself. Death is essential because without it, there is no authentic hunting. The killing of the animal is the natural end of the hunt and the goal of hunting itself, not the hunter. The hunter seeks this death because it is no less than the sign of reality for the whole hunting process. One does not hunt in order to kill. On the contrary, one kills in order to have hunted. Jose Ortega y Gasset. I've heard all these comments this morning, and I would like to state for the record that we are in support of this petition. To shoot a bear out of a tree, how is that ethical? Where is the fair chase involved in that? Where are the skills required to actually track that bear and hunt it? I guess I can only think of it as being like a drive-through. I mean, next thing you know, we're gonna just have drive-through hunting. You know, if you wanna kill something, just get in your car and drive through and you can just shoot it right out of a somewhere out of a tree. We'll just put them in trees so that you can drive through and kill it and say, I killed a bear. I don't believe that, and there's that term sitting duck. I mean, truly, this is, treeing a bear and just shooting it out of a tree without having to, to chase the dogs that have GPS collars. How is that sportsmanlike? That is cheating. That's what it is. It's lazy and it's cheating. If you really want to go and you want to be a true sportsman, this is the issue that we've had, when it comes to the trapping. You look at, and it's interesting, go on YouTube and Google all of these sportsmen that tree these bears or tree these mountain lions, and they don't stop to, make sure that this animal is cleanly killed, humanely killed. They stop to videotape it so they can post it on YouTube. This reminds me of another situation, a particular trapper who took the time while there was a bobcat on the end of a chain stuck with one paw in the trap, swinging it towards his dog, harassing this bobcat. That is what this is. You chase an animal, it stresses the animal. That to me is harassment of wildlife. You want to be a true hunter, go out, track it yourself. If you tree that bear, then kill it, and then be proud. Thank you.
James Werner.
Hello. For the record, my name is James Werner, and I am speaking for my family and our family business, Werner Family Taxidermy. My family could not make it today. Sorry about that. They work, and they're very upset that we have to keep coming to these same meetings with the same anti-hunters. And since Senate Bill 226, and there are some new faces, but they're just the same anti-hunters. They're trying to take away trapping, and they're going to move on to, well, now bear hunting, and then they're just going to keep on going farther and farther until we have no more hunting. And we've strongly opposed this petition, and we thank you for your time, and have a nice day.
Larry Johnson.
For the record, Larry Johnson, Coalition for Nevada's Wildlife, and again, thank you for this opportunity to appear before you. We are opposed to this petition. There is an abundance of scientific studies documenting the use of dogs in no way injures bears, including cubs, or adversely impacts future reproduction rates of treated females. We feel the petition is just another attempt to whittle away at our hunting rights, quite frankly. The use of hounds is probably the best way to allow the determination of sex of the animal. If you listen to the early arguments of the anti-groups, it was that we were going to harvest indiscriminately female bears. The use of hounds allows the best method of determining sex before harvesting that animal. As previously testified, the use of hounds greatly reduces the wounding rate of harvested animals. The spot and stalk allows for a 14 times greater wounding rate than harvesting an animal that is treed by hounds. We also feel the public has had ample opportunity to enter any testimony and discussion. This has been open to the public now for 2 commission meetings. We feel this is just simply the latest ploy in reducing hunting. If you remember right, over a year ago, just having a bear hunt was going to reduce property values in the Tahoe Basin, was going to reduce tourism. Next, simply because that didn't happen, it was an issue of public safety until it was pointed out that you're 9 times more likely to get seriously injured on a golf course and something like 13 times more likely to get seriously injured on a ski course. This is purely science, biology versus emotion. This is simply conservation against versus protectionism. Those hound dogs are, they're bred, it's in their heart, it's in their blood, just like all of our hunting dogs. Just like for hunters, it's in our genes, it's in our blood, it's in our heart. You know, I really urge this commission to deny this petition, and let's please not move the California state line all the way to Salt Lake City, please. Thank you.
Kristen, I believe it's Coral, but I may have gotten that wrong. Corral.
Hi, Kristen Corral, Nevada Political Action for Animals. I just want to say, I'll be really quick for the record, that I'm in favor of the petition. If you look up the word hunt in the dictionary, you will see words like chase, pursue, and search. By using hounds and technology, you are essentially cheating the true sport of hunting. I just want to reiterate that not only does hounding torment and torture the bears in its final moments of their life, it can also be hazardous to the dogs, which can be injured or killed while trying to tree a terrified bear. Bears are often not killed with the first shot and fall from the tree, breaking bones and allowing them to be mauled by the hounds while they await a fatal blow. Most of the black bears that are hunted are killed for trophy, not for meat. For good reason, hounding has been banned in many other states, including Colorado, Washington, Pennsylvania, and Oregon, and most recently, California. It has been overwhelmingly shown that most people oppose the cruel practice of hounding, and hopefully Nevada will soon join the list of states that prohibit it. Thank you.
Cal Bryant.
My name is Cal Bryant. Here representing Nevada Houndsman Association and also myself and family. The Nevada Houndsman Association stands opposed to the removal of hounds from the bear hunt. The fact is, hounds are the best method by which to catch and take bears. It gives the tag holders an up-close look at the animal so they can make a better decision as to take the animal or not. There may be need for further education during the bear indoctrination class as far as telling the difference between bears and sows, so that we maybe eliminate all sows being taken. I don't know if that's ever going to be the case, but maybe. Hunting with hounds so many times has been referred to as unsporting, which is not even close to a good description. Hound hunters are probably the furthest from the description. Most of us you can say it's unsporting to follow dogs and overlook the bear and make a good decision, but a lot of us are more conservationists than anything. If anything, we might kill one thing out of 15 we catch. It's for the dogs. What we do is for the dogs. I mean, we're not out there to kill things. That's not what we're here for. We're here for the dogs, to keep using dogs. If we kill everything we catch, quotas are met, we're done. We're out of the field. A lot of us, that's all we do. I mean, we go to work to pay our bills, to be able to have some extra money to take our families and our dogs and go do these things. It's a lifestyle, people. We're not ruthless killers. It's just, I mean, this way a lot of us have been brought up for years. This hound hunting dates back for centuries. George Washington brought the first hounds over. I mean, this is in our heritage. I don't know how and why so many people have come to say, you know, to not use hunting as a way of feeding your family. When we all come over on boats and ships from mainland somewheres, that's what, I mean, you didn't have grocery stores. You went and killed things. This is the way you fed families. A lot of us still trying to do this. And, I mean, yeah, you don't have to take bear meat, you don't have to take lion meat, but those two kids right back there, they love lion meat. I've never been on a bear hunt with dogs, but if I did have a tag, I would want to use my dogs. We just asked that keep the dogs in the bear hunt.
Joe Looby.
Thank you. I just want to clarify one thing real quick, and hopefully this won't go against my time, but one of the speakers said that this petition was so that we could talk about this issue, but the agenda actually says that if you accept it, then you will initiate regulatory action. We should confirm which was right, so we know. Are we voting to, I mean, are you guys voting to initiate regulatory action if you accept the petition, or are you voting to have further conversation if you accept the petition?
If we accept the petition, the department puts together regulatory language that then the commission will discuss. There will be language put forward so we have a discussion. That's the process, as I understand it.
Yeah, you'd have to have a public meeting a workshop where you discuss the proposed language and took public comment similar to what you're doing now, and also a public hearing after that. So there would be two other opportunities at a minimum should you decide to grant the petition for public comment and discussion on the item.
Okay, thank you for clarification. So my comments, probably most of the people in the room will be somewhere on Sunday watching the Super Bowl, so I'm going to use a sporting analogy that maybe we can all follow from football. We've got two teams here, and we've got the conservationist side and we've got the anti-hunting side. And essentially what the anti-hunting side has done has thrown a challenge flag. And the ref, as you guys know, and that's you guys, job in that situation is to go to the tape and find out if the evidence shows a convincing reason to change the ruling on the field. And the ruling on the field in this case is that dogs should be allowed to hunt, or hound hunting should be allowed in Nevada when it comes to the bear hunt. And this is an issue that was gone over in depth in 2010 and 2011 when the hunt was put in place. And this body right here determined that it was, in fact, advantageous to include hound hunting in the bear hunt. So the question then becomes, what's changed? If you go back to the tape, is there anything that would cause you to overrule the ruling on the field? And I don't think we have that, because we've got 2 successful years of the bear hunt, and we have evidence that now shows that the vast majority of successful harvests were done with use of hounds. So that's a good measure to go by. The second thing that we don't have if we go to the tape is evidence of a problem. Do we have issues where hounds attack some human being and cause physical damage? Do we have an issue where hounds were, killed wantonly in the midst of the bear hunt? I mean, what is the evidence that would require us or would mandate us to go back and really revisit this issue? And I'll tell you that the only thing that's changed is that the anti-bear hunter folks have lost on all their other opportunities or their attempts to kill the bear hunt completely. And so they're here calling a challenge. This is the last thing they can do. And it's blatantly disingenuous of them to propose this petition and not include mountain lions. And that right there should be a sign to everybody on this body that this is a blatant attempt to continue to get you guys to vote for an appeasement measure like you did last spring when it came to the options 1 through 4 on the maps of where the bear hunt was going to be allowed. The commentary right in the meeting minutes were all designed to say that, we're going to appease the anti-bear hunting crowd and maybe they'll go quietly into that good night. Well, they're not. They're here, and now they're attacking the hounds issue. If everything they've said impassionedly about hound hunting is true, then this petition would include mountain lions as well. Because everything they've said applies to mountain lions. If you can shoot a bear out of a tree, you can shoot a mountain lion out of a tree. But you don't hear them talk about that. So I just would bring that to your attention, that the only reason to vote for doing away with hounds is if there's been a problem. You've got 2 years of evidence and experience. Hasn't been a problem. You guys looked at this already. It should be a settled issue. Thanks.
Mark Holt.
My name's Mark Holt. I'm from Caliente, Nevada, and I am a houndsman. I've owned and hunted dogs for 30 years. I started hunting them before they had tracking collars, and we did a lot of walking. The tracking collars, there's been a lot of talk, especially about the GPS tracking collar, and I'd like to clarify that for you. It does nothing to help you catch a bear. The only thing it does is help you retrieve your hounds. And when we come home at night, we like to come home with our dogs. I just want you to know that I'm opposed to the position. I'm opposed to anything that would take hound hunting out of the bear hunt. If you look at these states that have closed hunting to hounds, and I've hunted in most of them, they now have government hunters that kill more bears or more lions than they did when the hunt was open. And so they're using taxpayer dollars to do the same thing that sportsmen would do. And so I just encourage you to leave the bear hunt alone. It's been successful. We appreciate the opportunity to hunt bears. I tried to get them to open a bear hunt a long time ago, and so I just encourage you to continue the hunt and manage your wildlife. The dogs are an important part of managing your wildlife. They not only do the studies with dogs, but it is a successful way to make sure that you don't shoot a sow with cubs or some of the other things that happen. And I just want you to know how I feel as a houndsman, and I appreciate your time.
Casey Nelson.
Casey Nelson, the president of the Nevada High Desert Houndsmen. We have a petition signed by the general public opposed to this hunt. We have 1,338 signatures right here. We were amazed that we had people hunting us down wanting to sign this petition. We had one woman that was a Humane Society supporter, found me, wanted to sign the petition. And I asked her, I said, well, I thought you guys were against hunting. She goes, I donate to these organizations to help lost dogs, abused dogs, to feed them. She goes, I had no idea that these people were trying to stop hunting. She goes, I don't want no part of that. So I set her up with our local pound, and she's donated to them, and she's quit donating to these guys because she had no idea what's going on. There's a lot of people we talked to that helped the Humane Society and stuff like that. If you go to their site, they always want money. I watched a show the other night. Their commercial was on 10 times, wanting money. Well, you give us, and they show a poor little kitty and stuff. That nothing to do with hunting. People are giving them money, not realizing what these people are going and doing with this money. And so it's getting to be insane what these people are getting away with. Like in California, we all know they bear hunt. Last week, they've come forward. They're going to get rid of the depredation hunt. So no longer, if you're a rancher and your cow gets killed by a lion or a bear, you're out of luck. There's nothing you can do. They may try to catch it and transplant it. If that's the case, their population is going to go through the wood. It's the same thing these people are going to do. If we don't have depredation permits because you've gotten rid of the hunting, your ranchers are out of luck. There's nothing's going to change except that we don't get to hunt them. Your government hunters are going to get to hunt them. I read a thing in your guys' own paperwork where on an accidental killing of 4 bears on the Flying M Ranch with snares. There's nothing from that. They're rolled in a dead animal pit and that's it. Nothing's used from them. We catch bears, we use the meat, we mount them. And so if these people really wanted to protect these dogs, they would be after the government hunters and us and the lions. They're just farsing. They know they can't beat the government hunters right now, and so they're just going after us. When they get done with us, then they're going to go to the government hunters like they did in California. They're going to say, okay, well, we've got the biggest majority of your supporters out of the way. You're a small group. We want your dog too. And then they're just going to work their way down the line. All this stuff they say about how bad we are, every group has some bad people. I'll admit that. You got priests that have bad people in them. You got cops. You got firemen. Every group has a few bad apples, and it gives everybody a bad name. But there's a very, very select few. And how people say, oh, my dog killed a bear. That's bragging. They don't really kill bear. I've been doing this for 25 years. And my dogs have never killed a bear on their own. And I've hunted in California for 25 years, and I've caught more bears than I can even imagine with dogs. We don't want to get them hurt because they're part of our family, and your vet bills for one visit to the vet is $1,500 these days. And so most of us can't afford it. We don't want our dogs to get hurt. My kids feed my dogs. My 5-year-old boy, that's his biggest thrill. He goes out and feeds our dogs. That's his job. And my 19-year-old daughter, that was her job. She would break ice in the wintertime and haul hot water out to water the dogs. It's a family thing. My whole family enjoys it. My 19-year-old daughter got a record book lion 4 years ago. Best hunt she'd ever been on in her life with 2 of my friends from California. It was a great time. That's one of the most best memories she has of being a childhood growing up is going hunting with me. She's been running dogs with me since she was 10 years old. And she's 19 years old. She's never been in trouble with the law. She's never been in trouble at school because all she was worried about was keeping her grades up so she could hunt and to be able to go with me on the weekends. So she didn't care about going to dances, going to flat parties and drinking beer. Her whole goal was if she knew she got in trouble, she wasn't going to go hunt with Dad. So I've raised her up to 19 years old without a scrape. And I'm proud of that. My 16-year-old daughter's the same way. I've raised her the same way in the hunting world without a scrape. And hopefully my next 2, my 6-year-old, she can't wait to start hunting. My 5-year-old, he just chomped the bit. He went on a sheep hunt with me. We walked from 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight to get back to the truck. It's not cruel. It's a way to bring your kids up to keep them out of trouble. If you give them jobs when they're little and they earn responsibility as they come up the line, taking care of them dogs, the neighbors have dogs, they don't even hardly feed their dogs. Their kids walk out the door and throw dog food at them. You build responsibility in your kids by giving them a job. And I oversee it. Every night I go check and make sure my dog's been fed and that they've been watered. In the wintertime, them kids go out and break ice. That's just a part of life. And it builds up responsibility in them, in my opinion, and keeps them out of trouble. They're not worried about the next new game that's coming out or this girl's dating this boy. All they're worried about is getting to go hunting with Dad on the weekends. And we oppose this. And like I said, we have 1,338 signatures from the general public that supposedly hit us. And this is just out of roughly the Fallon area and a little bit of the Yerington area. And we were really amazed we got this many signatures in just such a small town of about 4,000 people, I think. So I'd like to hand this in, and that's all I have to say about it.